We got a lot of Pokemon news today. There was so much Pokemon news, you probably didn't see it all, so you want to watch this video. And if you enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts down below. So the biggest update is that we finally got official reveals for the starter Pokemon and a few other Pokemon from Generation 9. It is January 12th. How does this compare to previous generations? Well, Pokemon Sun and Moon was wild because the website just updated with all the Pokemon right after the games came out. Bit different for Pokemon Sword and Shield that we had to wait until November 27th. A week and a half after the games came out, we got the trailer showing the starter Pokemon evolutions and a few other Pokemon as well. And now it takes almost 2 months to get starter evolution details. And the biggest problem with this is that we don't have official digital art for all the Generation 9 Pokemon. And this is kind of the way to get it. And there hasn't been like a special press release or anything like that. And it's just good for hype. It's just good to make the game look good when you're actually getting updates about the decks of Pokemon so long after the game has come out that it doesn't matter anymore to hide the information for no reason. Really, the only other art we have for the Pokemon are the small little menu sprites, which are so tiny inside the game you can't really scale them up, and scans of the Pokedex handbook and guides and stuff, or strategy guides. It's not terrible, but it's also not great. And some Pokemon, they just have like little pictures and they're not really usable, so it just kind of makes it worse for everything. As for some of the other Pokemon we got revealed, Screamtail, Iron Bundle, Great Tusk, Iron Treads, Golden Go, because it was a big part of this video being the 1000th Pokemon. So we're going to be talking about that here in a bit. And then we also have Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant. These are like the boss or special Paradox Pokemon. You know, they're at the end of the Pokedex. They have special encounter requirement, or like they're rarer. And then they have a bit more power behind them. So I guess they get to be shown off as well. But not the rest of the Paradox Pokemon. Not the rest of Generation 9, and then just like the starter evolution stuff, which is so late, it's baffling. On top of the Pokemon, we also finally got updates to the characters. So we have Team Star, we also have the gym leaders, we got official art for that, it's really cool. But once again, so little information, it doesn't justify waiting so long. Like, this can come out a week after, this can come out the day of, because there's no spoilers here. Boss of Team Star's Poison Crew put together all the boss's costumes. So like, yeah, just basic game information, no extra detail about the character. Almost feels like pre-release information about the games, but at least we got the best news of all, official artwork and description for Larry. This normal type gym leader is also a businessman. He's not very motivated. When he gets lost in thought, he becomes so still that onlookers begin to worry. Ah, that's Larry for you. Now, the reason why we got all of this news is because there was a special video encountering the over 1,000 Pokemon that now exist. I was going to wake up, maybe do like a live stream reaction, but around the middle of the night when I was doing my League of Legends placements, they went terribly. I got 5 griefers in my 10 games. That was cool. So, last call for going to bed if I wanted to wake up at 6 a.m. for the new Pokemon trailer, but then I had the realization, this video will not be Acacia. This video will not be it all comes together for a brand new Pokemon adventure levels of hype, because it's just going to be so long. We're going to see over 1,000 Pokemon being encountered. It's going to have your favorites, it's going to have your least favorites, and it's just going to grind out. I went to bed, woke up late, started doing this news video, and yeah, I was right. Like, they did cool things, like, oh, Pikachu's 25. Oh, they start off with a starter Pokemon, and then they go into, like, the early routes and early area Pokemon. I understand an incredible amount of work went into this video, but it's a lot to sit through. It's a lot to just do all at once for seeing the same Pokemon, the same kind of encounter over and over again. And then we get into Generation 9, and Generation 9 just has, like, a lot of terrible designs, so that makes it even more meh. We see, like, more gameplay, though. Like, this is actually, like, pretty cool stuff for a trailer. Like, why didn't we just get this? Why didn't we get this right as the game came out, or, like, a week after to kind of be filler for the... Like, okay, November 27th, or whatever, when we got the Pokemon Sword and Shield reveal for a few new Pokemon and Generation 9 starters. why not for that same time, because there's nothing left to spoil at that point, you do this part as a trailer. That would be super hype. I also like the high quality direct feed that we have for a lot of Pokemon, because the decks kind of ruined. Also, I have this scaled weird just in case like all this video stuff is copyrighted. Never know with how weird Pokemon trailers get sometimes. But the problem with like the dex pictures is there's like the green text and things getting in the way, so you can't really use it that well for like the picture of a Pokemon. But all this high quality stuff, like, ooh, this is really, really nice. And for Bread Dog, I'm definitely going to have to update my thumbnail. Like, that's just better. That just looks awesome. So I'm gonna update my how to use moveset thumbnail on that. That's kind of it. Like, the Generation 9 part was cool. And then we get to see, like, all the insane Pokemon encountery stuff going on. And that's what brought us the news of all the character and Pokemon updates. But, man, it's a long video that's pretty much impossible to stay hyped through all of it, so it was okay. But then we can get into the rest of the Pokemon news. Version 1.2 of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is coming at the end of February. Why is it taking so long? They patched out the dupe, but then another dupe happened, like what we saw with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearls. Like, Game Freak's against it, but toxic idiots still tried to defend the cheating and justify it as okay, because it's in the game, when that defense has never, ever worked for anything, ever, but only in Pokemon do you find this level of scumbaggery. And it's funny because people say, oh, you can't call a full team of shiny Pokemon cheating. And then I had this one person kind of give like how he made his shiny team and included the dupe glitch. If any item, like if you use a Pokeball to catch, like a dupe Pokeball to catch Pokemon with, that Pokemon's cheated. It is not a legal Pokemon because it breaks the rules. Same thing for like any of the items and stuff that you use on your Pokemon that way, ability patches, selling that for money to get the items, like it just makes all of your Pokemon cheated. So then people like, see, it's okay, like you can have a legit shiny team when what they described was exactly cheating, and shiny Pokemon are still very uncommon. And this was after me seeing just like non-stop teams of full shiny Pokemon ranked, because the game's been out for so long that, yeah, 99% of Pokemon are cheated again. Really cool. But as for the content of version 1.2, I'm optimistic because more functions are being added in. This is kind of where things get weird, because with Pokemon Legends, we didn't get like full-on DLC, we got a game content update. So further proving that Ku is a fraud, and even what he said was going, like what he riddled was going to be in the DLC of Pokemon Legends didn't happen, so even more of a fake. However, but because Pokemon Legends got a small game content update, more functions, makes me hope we finally get battle replays in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There was no reason to not have battle replays at any point. Pokemon Let's Go would have still been great with battle replays. It's completely unacceptable that Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC did not introduce battle replays. And instead of battle replays, we have the rental teams staying in, and rental teams are only unhealthy to the game. There is no benefit to rental teams existing. And rental teams being allowed in ranked almost completely destroys the integrity of the entire competitive format. There is no encouragement of creativity with rental teams existing. There is no encouragement for players to actually play the game. The only thing this does is proliferate the use of hacking, because then there's just hacked teams, and then a stagnation of the meta because no one wants to work for the thing. So now it's just hack the new meta team, distribute that rental team, and that's, or like multiple rental teams of hacked Pokemon, and then that's all that online battling becomes. The only good thing to come out of rental teams is that it let us catch cheaters like Wolfie VGC. But we already knew for a fact that Wolf Glick was a career-long cheater before he got caught with hacked Pokemon on his rental teams. So really, this is just more information for idiots to ignore about the biggest liar, cheater, and thief, Wolfie VGC, in all of Pokemon. But then one of the greatest features ever is still missing from the games. Battle replays encourage creativity. They encourage playing and learning the game and getting better, so you have something to show off. It also means more spread of Pokemon, so it's better for the game's popularity and longevity and overall competitive health. But no, that's not in it. However, I see more functions. This can be game content. this can actually be like more gameplay features to utilize because we have the largest Pokemon game and you don't need paid DLC to add things into the Pokemon games. We've seen this before, so maybe some cool functions, maybe tying it together into February, that's Pokemon Day. More information will be released shortly, so maybe we actually get to see what's going to be in the patch notes a decent amount of time before it comes out, and hopefully really good things. Like that little more functions is enough to give me a lot of optimism because I love Pokemon. I'm the most positive PokeTuber. We have a new raid event coming out later this month as well. So the Cinderace run back, that's going to be happening over the next couple of days. New 7-star Terra raid. Really, there's nothing to predict here. Unless that's Greninja's shoulder from like the mirroring effect that you see in the Terra raid dens, you can't say anything about this because Charizard was a dragon-type Pokemon. So Terrestrialization makes any Pokemon any typing. And there's also a lot of Pokemon that aren't available, but their game data is in Pokemon Sword and Shield right now. So there could be a Terra event for them, like what we saw with Charizard and Cinderace, but the poison doesn't really do anything except do nothing for us. Because like until the Pokemon's revealed, until people actually like go and play with the moveset in the actual Terra raid, the best strategy can't really be theory crafted until that already happens. Pokemon Home update in early February. So Pokemon Home updates, more news, more weird stuff. We had the early 2023 for the battle feature update. This is what that is going to be. Wrong page. Now this is going to get confusing because all the weird stuff going on with the Battle Stadium right now. But Season 2, same as Season 1 because it's all Series 1. So if we had this update now, it would actually have value because not the same metas. You're still seeing like some weird changes and ugliness in Season 2 right now, but at least you could get an idea of what people were running in Season 1 and then kind of apply it to the rest of Series 1. But since this is coming out in February, that's going into Series 2. And Series 2 is going to allow Paradox Pokemon. We don't have clear information on if it's going to allow Legendary Pokemon, so a completely different meta. So that means all the battle data from Season 1 and Season 2 and the Series 1 is not going to be that useful. So it's happening too late. And if it doesn't happen on the like immediate reset for Series 2, then yeah, this is just behind. So I find it kind of crazy that like the Pokemon Home app that was supposed to give us like all the news, latest updates, more features and functionality for our National Dex Pokemon we can't use, place where Pokemon can gather, and all that crazy big stuff never really happened. And then it was just worse than Global Link, even though it's an app. Like Pokemon's Home is an app, you stay connected with Pokemon, or you just go onto the Global Link website and you have everything immediately available, or like with a week delay to a point where it's still relevant and viable because the meta hasn't changed that much. But with this, we're getting like functionality here, but none of it's usable and the update still hasn't happened, and it's happening early February. As for the rest of the Pokemon Home update, that's going to be spring 2023. So like March, April? That also kind of feels weird with the 1.2 update happening late February, but that's Pokemon Day. So in a weird way, we have a lot to look forward to, but it's going to take a while for that to be realized. That we have like all these announcements, all this news, it's somewhat incomplete, but it's better than the last couple of months of lack of news, lack of updates, lack of Pokemon, and just like the game and the community being in a really bad state. But all of this could fix that. All of this stuff, you know, Pokemon Day having a killer announcement, then saying, hey, download version 1.2 today at the end of this broadcast or something, or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet version 1.2 available now, and then get ready in March, April for the Pokemon Home update where you can play with even more of your Pokemon and bring them into these games. And then DLC announcement, while also getting game functionality and gameplay without a major paid DLC, so that's going to be a part of it. Then some other things, Pokemon Home, new rank season. So like, this is here. We might actually have everything finally like come together and put Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in its best state by the end of February. More people want to play, more people are enjoying the game. Cool. It only took 2.5 months to get there, and game longevity does not last that long these days, but maybe that can breathe some new life into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, revamp everything, DLC in the summer, new Pokemon game announcement as well, and everything is doing good. So, crazy stuff going on for Pokemon right now. Gonna have to see how it all plays out, but yeah, huge news. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.